All right, very quickly then. The next class, we are going to have a seminar, and this is how it's going to work. I'm going to take half of you out there, and we're going to sit for half the time that seminars normally take, so this is a smaller group. It being half the number of people, proportionally half the amount of time should make sense because you're not competing with time, right? So half the number of people, half the amount of time. That might relax some of you. The other half will be in the class working on the next thing, and then we'll just switch out, rotate out, all right? A student suggests that in anonymous feedback, and that's exactly what I want. So thank you if it was you. I never know. What is it on? Very interesting stuff. Very interesting stuff. So let's look at it. Let's look at the packet. You see on page 1 in 1552, the Portuguese, notice when Da Gama went into the Indian Ocean and such, he made it as far as Indonesia. But the Europeans didn't make it up to East Asia yet. They didn't make it to the China Sea. They hit Japan first, not China, because China wasn't letting anybody in since they isolated themselves after the Ming voyages were stopped, right? So they hit Japan first. So this first document is a letter written by Saint Francis Xavier, who was sanctified, canonized, made a saint for his missionary activity, opening up Asia to Christianity. This is the coolest document in the world because the Japanese had never seen a European. They had never, maybe they'd seen one, but certainly the Jesuits had never seen the Japanese. So this is a contact of cultures. This is Xavier's letter to the Vatican in Rome, reporting on these samurai Japanese saying, who have never heard the gospel of Jesus Christ. And these guys are getting off a boat, crosses around their necks, monks' robes on, saying, have you heard the good news? Have you heard the gospel of Jesus Christ? And the samurais are going, huh? It's a remarkable letter. You can consider it an intelligence report because that's what it is. I used to work in military intelligence. We have to inform headquarters on how to accomplish our mission. Notice I use the word mission. It's a military word. Missionaries have a mission: to conquer, to convert. Spiritual conquest, right? We're going to go and we're going to harvest the souls of these unsaved heathens. So this is a field report of the Japanese culture by this man. Here's the intelligence. Here's how they reacted to the gospel of Jesus Christ. Fascinating. 3 pages. The second of our 3 documents, you don't have to read the appendix on page 4 unless you want to. It's interesting. It's another Pope's document. The second one is the first missionary in China. How many of you have heard of Matteo Ricci? Here's 2 books on him. Fascinating. So here he is, a Christian who works in the Forbidden City for the Ming emperors. The Ming emperors are paying his paycheck. And he is learning classical Chinese. He is reading the Analects, translating the Confucian classics, the Shujing, the Shijing, yada, 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 into Latin. The name Confucius, thank you, Matteo Ricci, because you gave Kongzi the name Confucius. You Latinized it for us. So the first Christian to enter China, to be allowed entrance, and he works his way all the way up to the Forbidden City where he hangs out with the very top. You should have great anticipation. How the hell is a Christian missionary going to react to Confucianism when he reads it? Ancestor worship, ancestor rituals, all this sort of stuff, right? And so, an amazing, amazing first encounter in this clash of civilizations. That's the saints coming and marching in. Well, why do they, as my little ironic, why do they march back out? Because the Qing dynasty, not the Ming dynasty, the Qing dynasty, greatest emperor, longest lasting emperor, remember Wu Di, right, from Han Dynasty? He ruled for 49 years, I think, something like that. whatever it was, what, 49 to, no, more than that, whatever, 41 to 89. So, yeah, 50 odd years. Kangxi ruled for 61 years, this Qing emperor. The longest serving emperor in Chinese history, and a great man, just an amazing man, a barbarian. Well, I'm getting ahead of myself. The Qing or Manchus. Remember who conquered the north during the Song dynasty? The Jurchens from Manchuria. They're back, and they conquer all of China. And for the second time, the entirety of China is ruled by northern, quote, barbarians. The first time the entirety was ruled was the Mongols. So how do you think that the Qing, the second time that northern barbarians rule all of China, how do you think they're going to do? They're the greatest, some argue, the greatest dynasty China ever had. And they're barbarians, quote. We'll get to them later. But in any case, it is under their greatest and longest serving emperor, Kangxi, who I adore, that the Christians are told, thank you very much. This has never been done in the history of China. We have tolerated all religions, Muslim, Jew, Buddhist, Taoist, Christian, but no more. Christians, you are banished. Go. Leave China. You're not welcome here anymore. They're kicked out. Why? All right, so notice, contact is happening now. That's what here we are. East and West collide, and here it is. There are the questions for it. Next time, that's the emperor I was talking about, the longest serving one, Kangxi. We'll have more on him next class as well. Make sure, again, as you read, you are reading for information concerning these questions. That's what you're reading for. You're not going to have a test on everything in this packet. You are going to be asked to think about what these packets show in terms of these three questions. Whoops. Okay.